What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Growth by Shawn podcast. For a long time, I hated and failed at tracking my calories. The thing about it is, it was my mindset and my approach to it. I was looking for the quick fix. I was stuck. I was like, look, I'm going to track my calories. I'm going to eat 2,000 calories. I'm going to eat 1,800 calories. This is something when I was more in the 220 to 230 pound range for my body weight. Right now, I'm 190 pounds. All right. I'm eating more now than I was even when I was 230 pounds. So, right now, I'm cutting and I am dropping about a pound of body weight every single week, and my macros are not changing in terms of the amount of calories that I'm taking in. I'm anywhere between 200 and 220 grams of protein. Fat is normally just anything under 80, and depending on the day, depending on how hungry I am, I fill the rest with carbs. Here's why I failed. Here's why most people that start to track their calories fail. One, they think it's going to be forever. It's not forever. But the second reason why we fail is because we don't have a long-term approach. If it took you 10 years to put on 100 pounds, it's not going to take you 10 years to lose 100 pounds. It's not going to take you 30 days either, though. The thing is, when we diet, oftentimes we think of how many days and weeks will this take versus how many months and years will this take. When you have that approach, even 1 year of your life, if you live to 100 years old, that's 1% of your life. 1%. Imagine learning sustainable and practical habits and behavior change in order to have a sustainable, healthy relationship for food for the rest of your life. If you don't even know how much food you're eating while you're not tracking, and then you go to track and you're like, holy shit, I am eating 3/4 of a bag of chips every other night. That can add up to 600 calories, 700 calories. Imagine going out for dinner and eating an extra 1,500 calories. That can derail your entire week's worth of progress. Imagine if 3 days out of the week, you decide to eat an extra 500 calories. Now you look at the week and you're in an extra 1,500. It's the same reason why people yo-yo diet and they go up and down, because they have this great week. And then all of a sudden, the weekend comes and they eat an entire pizza, or you go out to eat where you really have no idea how many calories you're eating. And then they wonder why. They understand that the scale went up. Then they try to lower their calories so much. And then from there, it's this constant yo-yo of, I'm going to eat 1,800 calories Monday through Friday. I'm so hungry, it's unsustainable. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, each night, they're binging. Okay, you don't have a long-term approach. You need to get yourself into the right mindset of, this is your life. You need to take control of your life. How long is it going to be? What is the rock bottom moment that it is going to take you in order for you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is not me? What if I told you that the person that's looking back at you is not the real version of you? It's the fake version of you. But you have convinced yourself that it is the real version because you have been operating as this version for so long. That is why you believe it. This is where identity comes in. Many of us have heard of this word identity, okay? We go on a diet and say, the word diet itself, it is something that you believe in your head that it's only for a short amount of time. I'm going to diet for 12 weeks. I'm going to diet for 16 weeks. Where really what you need to do is you need to look at it in terms of months and years, and you need to say, how many consecutive months, how many consecutive years can I build a better relationship with food, a better relationship with myself, better habits with myself, in order for this to become a part of my identity. I am someone that eats healthy because I am a healthy person. I set standards for myself. When you start to say no, you will never wake up and remember in 5 years the time that you woke up at 170 pounds and it was your lowest weight ever. You will wake up in 5 years and remember how you felt and that time when you said, no, I'm not going to please the environment and everyone else that's around me in order to please everyone else. You'll remember how you felt. You'll remember saying no to that meal. You'll remember saying no to that drink because you were a different person. You have higher standards for yourself. So the reason that this did not work for me was because I was so stuck in this cycle. I didn't understand who I was, and I didn't have a goal of who I wanted to be. The best version of myself may not be the most shredded version of myself, but it is the version of myself where I feel the best about myself. And that is the goal. When the external things are all a facade, because it just is about how you feel. It's the person that buys the new Audi. It's the person that buys the BMW, the Lambo. Perhaps you are a huge car person and this is something that interests you, but the majority of people that I have spoken to is because of how that makes them feel. I remember that I was on a trip and I rented a BMW for 3 days because I wanted to know how it would feel, how people would talk to me, how people would look at me, how I would feel driving it. I felt on top of the world. Even though I wasn't the owner of this vehicle, it was how I felt. So when you are approaching new lifestyle and habit changes, who is the person that you want to be? Who do you need to become? And who is it? How is it that you want to feel? Do you want to look at yourself in the mirror every single day and not make eye contact with yourself? Even me looking at this video, all right, looking into the camera, looking at my microphone, having myself stare back. Is this the version of myself? Is this my highest potential? Am I proud of the man that is creating this podcast right now? There's so much more to health and nutrition than just eat healthy, eat less. It's who you become during the process. The external changes will happen, but look at it in a long-term approach. Who do I need to become? Who do I truly want to be? When you can create that vision for yourself, everything else, all of the discipline, all of the motivation will fall into place. Because when you have this one external thing that you are driven towards, I want to be shredded, I want to have a six-pack, I want my shoulders bulging, that will only get you so far. Is that what wakes you up in the morning? I need to get up on my first alarm, and I need to get up because I need my shoulders popping out of my shirt. Is that what's driving you? Or is there a bigger mission? What is the mission? What is it? Who do you want to be that will drive you to get up, that will drive you to meal prep, that will drive you to get to the gym even when you don't feel like it? Who do you need to become? Sit with this. Sit into that energy of who you need to become, because that will get you farther than any single nugget of wisdom that I can give you talking through your speaker, talking through your headphones, talking through your phone right now. So when you are building a diet, you look at who you need to become and what does that person do? Does that person go out every weekend and get blasted? Does that person go to the fridge and eat all of the snacks as soon as they come home? Is that the person that you want to be? Is that the example? Is that the leader inside of you? No. It's the fake version. I don't care if it's food. I don't care if it's drugs. I don't care if it's alcohol. I don't care if it's women. I don't care what it is. Is that the version of you that you want to be? Guys, I'm going to keep this short and sweet because you need to focus. You need to create a clear vision of who you want to be. When you can create a clear vision of who you want to be, everything else will fall into place. All the motivation, all of the discipline, all of the meal prep, all of the gym, all of the steps, all of the sleep patterns, all of the habits, and it's not going to change overnight. People talk about this 1% better every single day. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to get 20% better every day. And over time, it's just going to compound. It's going to compound and it's going to compound and it's going to compound. All right? Wherever you are, if you can only get 1% better, do it. Even take this one little tidbit. Do you get up on your first alarm? Do you set multiple alarms the day before? Because if you do, you're already telling yourself that the next day you're not going to follow through. Are you someone that is going to wait and say, you know what, I will do it tomorrow? Why? What's different about tomorrow than this present moment right now? What is it? You think you're just going to wake up and have that big epiphany moment and all of a sudden everything's just going to pop into place? No. The person you want to be, forget about all of the external shit. The person that you want to be, you need to be them right now. This has been one of my biggest drivers in life right now. Even if it's 9 o'clock at night and I want to go to sleep, I've had a long day, did legs, they're cramping, I'm miserable, but you know what? I know that there's someone out there that needs to hear this right now. That's what this is. That's what this message is, all right? I can talk about health and nutrition and fitness and tempo and insulin resistance and calorie deficits all day long. I can educate you to the world, but the thing is, you have all of that education. You can go pull out your phone that you're listening to this on right now. How do I lose weight? What is a calorie deficit? You can download MyFitnessPal. You can start to track all of your calories. But you know what? Until you become the person that you want to be, those habits aren't going to change. They're not going to be sustainable. So who do you want to be in 5 years? That person, be them today. Guys, I can feel that this message is for someone. Someone listening to this needs to hear this right now. If it's not you, send it to the person that needs to hear it. All right, guys, thank you for listening to another episode of my podcast, Growth by Shawn Podcast. If you have not yet, please leave me a 5-star review and subscribe to whatever platform you are listening on. The more that you do this, the more this message will get to the person that needs to hear it. We're all given a corner of the world in order to be a leader in that corner of the world. And I want to grow that corner. Guys, thank you for listening to another episode. If you have thought about inquiring about coaching, I will throw my coaching application in the show notes. I will throw my coaching application is always in my Instagram bio. Guys, I will get back to you in 24 to 48 hours after you apply. And I want to just be 100% sure that I am the right person to help you. Guys, go have a kick-ass day and be the person that you envision you want to be.